All right, man. Yeah.
What's up, Billy Contreras? Coming to Fiddle Hell.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
man.
I wanted to check in and talk a little bit about your classes because no one's ever come to Fiddle Hell with class titles like these. So I was wondering if you could play us a little bit of what you're gonna teach in them. So
Yeah, man. So I think uh I think one of the classes is called Modern Tennessee Fiddling. And so that kind of deals with like different ways of using, longer forms to like kind of shape the arrangement of your tune, and also use different kind of melodic principles of the tune to formulate ideas from. Yeah, I can give you a little example of something like that. So all right.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Modern Tennessee fiddling concepts for solo playing with Billy Contreras. Amazing. Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, man.
Here's another man, I love that. That sounds so cool. Triple stop.
Man.
Killing me with triple stops. Oh, so tasty. How about that
Yeah.
Boogie Woogie book for solo playing on Fiddlesticks Boogie? What does that sound like? You've got 7 chapters here.
Yeah, man. It's just kind of like a way to kind of organize your thoughts and have a little bit different ideas happen at different times in a certain type of order. when you're playing a boogie, and that sounds something like this.
Oh man, that is a happening campfire scene. Nice train call. You called the train.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah,
cool.
man.
So how do you teach that? Like,
Maybe,
are the people gonna? Yeah.
yeah, basically that one. Yeah, I'll probably like show maybe like one idea or something from each chapter. I like to kind of have a few ideas in all the different chapters, and then kind of just try and make up other ideas like off of those ideas, something like that. Uh,
Super cool, man. So, man, one thing I'm super excited about is we're gonna do a podcast together for River of Suck podcast where we're going to talk about the learning process. And like, you do a lot of crazy stuff, but you had to figure it out. You had to like work on it. So I'm really stoked to ask you some questions about that.
Yeah, that's fun, man. That's gonna be fun.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think you have to suck at something before you can be good at it. Have you ever sucked at anything? Like, is that part of your
Oh,
process?
oh man. Yeah, that's like yeah, it's an integral part of the process, you know. It's like, at least for me, everything's really cyclical. And yeah, man, so that's like I mean, for me, I can usually guarantee I'm gonna be, like really bad at stuff that I'm learning. There's no guarantee like you'll ever be good at it, but there is for me a guarantee I'll be bad at it. So so the idea is like you already know that, so you really only have one direction you can really go, which is up. The question is, how far are you going to go? And sometimes it's not very far, and other times it's a little further. And but yeah, man, it's it's a good place to be looking up, and yeah, you can see a lot from there. So, but yeah, definitely. Like, I always know if I'm trying to work on some new ideas that it's going to go through a process of just like, yeah, man, just like lots of trial and error, and but if you keep, I find, if you keep working at it, maybe like, maybe a few years later you'll surprise yourself, and you'll be like, oh man, like that's not like as difficult as it was a few years ago, you know. But I really like I enjoy, man, the learning process probably just as much as any part of any aspect of music. So I just find it really fun. I really like the problem solving kind of aspect of it, and that really like intrigues me, just to kind of like have some type of problem or challenge, and like how do you like work through it, and just that whole thing is really really interesting to me, and just the whole process of that I find really intriguing, and yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we'll talk about that and more at the River of Suck podcast live in Fiddle Hell.
Yeah.
Billy and Andy, it's going to be a fun hang. If only we could be in person, but we're still going to hang. Tell me a little bit about jazz concepts and templates for solo playing on Limehouse Blues.
Yeah, man. So that's like a way of trying to play like some type of standard or something, and kind of just switch up different kind of concepts throughout it to drive interest and also give the tune some shape. So it has like, there's some different things you can do to create different types of textures in it. Some of them could be like textures related to like the form or the structure. So when you change ideas, when you repeat ideas, they could be like textures related to the melody. So different type of like motifs. They could be like different types of melodic textures, like trying to play like bass and melody, or bass and improvising at the same time. Or like octaves, or like, like comping and improvising, different like textures really, to just kind of make the landscape varied and give it, kind of some interesting twists and turns and stuff. Yeah. And there's, picking sometimes like different harmonic textures, whether it's like different types of like, chord substitutions or reharms, or certain types of like sounds on chords that can create interesting kind of harmonic pathways. And yeah, man, but really just kind of I find that like, you know, really interesting just how to play jazz tunes kind of solo and make them interesting and stuff. But
Give us a timer.
yeah.
You want to give us a timer to you through that?
Yeah, let's see here. So let's see. Man, honestly, I gotta review that one a little bit, man. You know, one of my man, I'm like, I kind of get sometimes a little like, you know, caught up in the moment, man, with ideas and stuff. So I need to, y'all probably before Fiddle Hell comes around, probably gonna review that a little bit, rush, because the whole idea like is to not do what I just did, and the whole idea with like that thing is like I kind of look at you got like three types of arrangements, maybe one that's like you play it the same every time.
Yeah.
One on the other, play it just totally different every other time. And then one in the middle where there's like conceptualizations that you just improvise off of. So that's what that's supposed to be. But honestly, man, I didn't know you were gonna have me play a little bit of each of these. And so yeah, like ideally, you know, if I was gonna play that, I'd like make a little sketch, you know, like give it some shake, put in the ideas, memorize it quickly, and then play it. You know, so then it's like you kind of follow this textual pattern. So all the ideas you make up, but you have these certain movements that are kind of built in, which man, that's why I'm like, yeah, I could, that one, you know, could be a little bit better architected, but, cause I kind of forgot all the concepts in it offhand. And, but hey,
But no,
man,
yeah.
no, that's what it's about, right? Rivers suck, and I'm gonna like practice that over the next couple weeks. And
That's right.
yeah, so it should be yeah.
Well, Fiddle Hell's until April 15th through 18th, so you got some time.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's a fun
Well,
one, man. I find one in general really interesting just because like jazz is somewhat of a difficult style to solo like capture a lot of different elements. So that's one of the other things about it, just to kind of how to get some of the basic elements in there and but not make it difficult like it just was. So, you know, that's the whole thing, you know, getting some of those concepts together, sculpting it, and but yeah.
totally. Well, take us out with a little waltz. You've got a waltz workshop, and I don't want to hold you to like necessarily what's going to happen there, but like why should someone want to come to a waltz workshop when we could just play fast all the time?
Man, that's a good point, man. Yeah. Well, man, yeah, I was thinking about that, man. It's like, yeah, because like lots of times everything in life is about like being strong and like, you know, um, being able to like pick up big rocks and stuff. But I was thinking, man, just like yesterday, I was thinking like, man, like so much of the like, man, meaningful in life is like all the fragility and the things that just like by touching just like break apart into a million pieces. So I was like, I kind of think that's kind of like, one of the reasons for playing slower tunes, playing waltzes, just trying to kind of like explore that, type of fragility and stuff. Or just kind of those kind of, elements that aren't all about, playing fast and a lot of notes and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man. So yeah, I'll play you one of the ones that we might work on during that class. So it goes like this, if I can remember it.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so cool around the campfire, man. Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful double stops. Super cool. Not to mention, you're gonna play in some concerts. We're gonna get the full Billy Contreras experience at Fiddle House. So I'm grateful. A lot of us are grateful, and I just want to thank you for taking the time to like show us what you're gonna be teaching. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thanks for having me, man. This is gonna be fun.
Everyone, go to fiddlehell.com or .org or whatever, and sign up and come hang out with us. We'll see you there.